It's that drive right there, right where I'm driving my chest out. Triangle. When you use the word triangle in Jiu-Jitsu, it's synonymous with your legs. But the reality is, it's a head and arm, right? So, whether I go to a mounted triangle, whether I roll it into a traditional triangle, it's a head and arm. Pitch back again. If I shoot an arm triangle, it's a head and arm, right? Let's talk about it real quick. We talked about this a lot on Tuesday. I'm going to reiterate it, and I'm going to explain to you how a Darce is just an arm triangle. You're going to treat it like a four-phase situation. Arm position. If his arm is down on his pectoral muscle, there's no vascular constriction here. If his arm is up across his jawbone, there is still space, so there's no vascular restriction. I want his arm across the lower half of his jaw so that his delt, this giant bicep, is all starting to interfere with one side. My man, 12.5-inch gun club right here. All right. Looking for single side vascular restriction. We need bilateral, i.e. both sides. Blood goes in, blood comes out. We want to stop it where it is, let the pressure build, and let the body go. This is bad. Okay? My arm is providing the bilateral component. His arm, my arm. That's the V or the wedge. And then we said Tuesday, all chokes require a backstop. That's what keeps them from just pulling their head out. So if I'm shooting an arm triangle, my arm is providing the backstop, but also the floor is providing the backstop. Rear naked choke. Right? Single side, bilateral. My chest, my head provides the backstop. Latch pen provides the secondary backstop. So we're going to start this. Will you point your feet at which one? And anybody that needs to move around, just get wherever you can see, and we'll go from there. We're going to go about the first entrance to this in what I think is the more simplified manner, and I haven't gone into the three other components yet. All I mentioned was arm position. Kind of the same way we were hitting the T Kimura. I'm in a side control position. He starts to reach through. Okay? I'm going to use a stop and my bicep to position his arm. Okay? I can get half guard, I can get side control. He starts to reach through. I'm going to intercept. I'm going to use my chest to redirect. Brings me to part two. Part one is the arm position. Part two is going to be my first pin or compression. I'm using my chest to do two things. One, I don't want him to roll belly down, because now I can't get the constriction that I need. So I'm using my chest, my collarbone area, to keep his shoulder elevated. I'm using the downward motion of my chest to start getting that unilateral, while my arm is under to provide the bilateral. Okay? So we've got the arm position. We've got the chest pin. The chest pin brings me to the secondary anchor. I'm anchoring to his head, and I'm using the floor and my pin pressure to anchor his other shoulder so he can't pull the back up. Okay? The third is simply the constriction. I'm going to express my arms down. I'm going to give a little squeeze with my arms, and I'm going to get myself. All right? So you can start, if you need to, if it's day one, take their arm. This is not how it's going to work in real life. Pull it up towards their face. Hold it there. Bring your chest in and your arm under. Collapse their head. Use your elbow to hold their head tucked in. Lock up what you may know as a sleeper hold. If you've never been to a jiu-jitsu class, we would refer to it as a rear naked choke or a figure four grip. And then again, I got the squeeze, but I want to apply the pressure so I'm getting both sides. Now if I squeeze, I get a tap, If I don't squeeze and I just stay here, he'll probably tap in about 30 seconds just from letting it build up. Okay? All I want to do, you can choke it. All I want to do is focus on those components. Arm position, my chest pin pressure, my secondary anchor, and then the creation of that final compression. I am squeezing elbows in, I am curling with my big muscles, and I'm applying like a chest hip thruster style motion down into it. Almost think like, I don't know what you guys call them, we call them Buddha push-ups or Hindu push-ups. It's not the up at the end, it's that drive right there, right where I'm driving my chest down. Arm position in proximity to the artery. Chest pin pressure to keep it in place. Secondary anchor. Compression. You got two different angles you have to figure out, and this is the hardest part. The arm on the clock, where it goes. And while you're managing the arm on the clock, you also have to control the angle that my shoulders play. So you got two things going on at once, which makes it very complicated. I want to talk about top shoulder, bottom shoulder. If I am square, like 180 degrees, right, or like 90 degrees off the floor, all your weight is held between my shoulder blades, my scapula, the structure. So there's not a lot of collapse that's happening. If my top shoulder goes closer to the person choking me, I've got other problems, but at this point, the Darce is not the one I'm worried about. Because the farther this shoulder goes, the more this artery opens up. I'm looking for a 45 or just shy of a 45. Because again, if they get their back to the floor, so now I have like lat power to start forcing it open, right? 90 degrees, shoulder pressure in front of their shoulder pectoral area. I'm driving. What keeps them from going flat? Tell where you're turning. It's the secondary anchor. It's a counter anchor. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I'm here, okay? I'm driving him forward while simultaneously pulling him to. That doesn't roll him. That creates compression. Does that make sense? Okay? I want to give a different look to apply the same principle. This is a little abstract. And then time permitting, we may even go to artistic or playful as far as how to get there. But remember, what did we have? We have arm position, we've got a chest pin, we have a counter anchor, and we have compression. I'm going to kind of play back, and I may change the verbiage because that's not like drilled into my skull. I'm not that hard. But that's what I have to accomplish, okay? Can I borrow you real quick? So I'm going to let him put me in side control now. Arm frame, hip frame, knee frame. We refer to this in this jump as a trapdoor. I have the option to do a basic trapdoor escape, right? We kind of teach this straight up, like Mark teaches this right in the fundamentals class as a very regular portion. The B option, arm frame, knee frame, is to come into a guard. Again, very basic. And the C option is the one we're going to use today. I open the trapdoor, my hand comes through the trapdoor, and I escape my head. Now, if I weren't talking to you guys, I would have been in a hurry to rustle up, right? Because like you don't lay on your hip, you're going to get your butt kicked a little worse. The motion of the turn in conjunction with the pull gives me the angle on the arm and the chest pin. I need to bring my battle buddy in real fast though, because his ability to sit up through his lats and his glutes is way bigger than my ability to do a one-arm pull-up. Bang. I'm connected. So I've got my counter anchor, my arm, my chest pin. I don't have my live toes to drive my hips. So I've got to create the compression a little different. I'm gonna walk my hips. Think about the guillotine we talked about. I'm not trying to pull their head off, I'm trying to fold their head over the blade to get the choke. I'm walking in. Okay. Frame, knee shield. Find the trap door. I go through as soon as my head clears. Hard pull. Locking the grip. If you're not getting this from the top, try it from the bottom if you'd like, but I'm guessing, because there's a lot more motion happening, that if you're not hitting it from the one side, you might not hit it from the bottom. And then I walk straight towards him as I curl him down, creating my compression. Space, maybe he just gave it to me. Ghost escape, hold. Lock in the grip, walk into him, walk into him, walk into him. Bonus points if you can grip or grab anything. You want to see him die, go to mouth, right? And then same way. Squeeze. Squeeze. And the reason I like to simplify, remember when we did arm triangles on Monday, or Tuesday rather, I want you to finish them with one arm, right? Because I don't want to be your method of approach to finishing anything. If I understand, can I borrow your head again? If I understand arm position, shoulder pressure, and I picked a guy with a neck that's about that big too. It would be a little easier for me if the guy had more of a neck. I appreciate you then. Don't beat me up, man. Same mechanics, reapplied from a different angle of entrance. Arm position matters above almost everything else. Your center phases are your maintenance, and your compression is your kill. If I got to get to 99% to get you to think about attacking, how can I kill you if you're trying to hurt my baby? I need you to sleep at 60%, so I got 40 more. I'll edit this out. To turn into a justifiable, hopefully, homicide. Right? If I'm in an arm bar and I'm like, ah! And the person's like, oh, maybe. No, 40%. Hospital at 50. And I'm not talking orthopedic surgery at 60. I'm talking about how did this happen? We might need to amputate. Like, that's what the last 20 to 30. I mean, you're an EMT. You understand there's levels of broken though, right? If I can't finish what I'm trying to accomplish in mass at 70%, I'm technically flawed somewhere. That last 30% is not to correct a technical error. It is to take someone's life from them. Just my 2 cents. All right? Break. Create space. Break that move. Pull up. Shoot the rear naked choke. And look to catch something. No. Struggle snuggles, man. Just love them to death. I just taught 4 kids classes in a row without a break, so y'all give me a pass. All right? 1, 2, 3.